Why can't I find a sax player like this guy? All the guys that try out for my band, they don't have a clue. Why is that? It's terrible. Just can't find any good musicians these days. What are you gonna do? Okay, I'm trading RSI with the out-of-the-box 14. Just like the doctor ordered. Well, just like MT4 ordered for you. Whether you like it or not, you're getting the 14 period. So the story here is it's about the RSI levels indexed. And if you traded it just like it was nothing but like price, so you'd be looking for pivots on RSI as opposed to pivots in price, or you would see a better pivot on RSI than you might see on price. And if you're running candles on top here, it's going to look like that. My colored candles are all whacked out because I'm using a special indicator there, but you could still have the candles running up here, and then down here you could be doing your there's one platform out there called Visual Trader, and I think it's a US brokers, only US brokers run Visual Trader, but they will let you actually place orders here on the RSI amazingly. Like you put a pending down here, but just in the terms of treating this as if it's price and doing all your trend line analysis on here. So here's your uptrend. You break it, there's still a chance to sell here at this retest of the RSI. So you'd be getting in here. I just went inside the indicator here and created price levels for every handle. So basically every 10 of RSI, every time RSI moves 10 on the index. I could have put 5 in there. I suppose you get a little bit crazy, but if you just stick with this as far as your pivot, so pivot in RSI, like here's a big pivot line here where it's like all that stuff, but I'm just going to go back to the line chart here to emphasize the divergences, to just make them stand out. Even on the 14 period, you're still getting it, and then you're still getting these great, here's your top bottom as you're climbing up this. So here is your classic. This is what you would normally draw, and then here's what you would draw RSI wise. So you're actually crossing over on RSI first, right? So if you went and you just drew this off of these two, so as you're breaking that, you can get in here, whereas if you did that same trend line up here referencing out the same points, it's going to look like this. So you're getting an early view of, you're getting in ahead of the market, so to speak. And then of course you've got this hidden divergence here where this is actually happening below this triple top. So you've actually got, this is your reference for the key off of the first divergent point. So you have almost divergence here on these two guys. Certainly if you could close up here, this daily chart, so if you take the highs, you can tell RSI to plot on the highs. So if you're a breakout trader, you may want to plot RSI. This is on close. But if you plot RSI on the highs, and I guess I could have built a robot that just said when RSI starts to turn up into the new high, just buy. Of course you're going to get chopped to death on this, but look at this perfect pivot here, top bottom, right there, right at the 50 line. Of course we're crushing to the 50 line now, so I'm thinking about selling all the pullbacks or the rallies up into, I can speculate off this, using this as my pivot, comes back up into here and gets traps all the bulls, and then now the certainly scaling this down, you can run an RSI like this. You give them a hard time with that kind of a style analysis, but you let these guys, of course you have to adjust to market conditions, but let me just show you. Here's a 2 period, 3 period, I say 2 period, 3 period, I mean 2 bars. Notice this this really powerful sell signal here, right there. Now your price projection would have to be pretty steep. I would say take this bent part here and see if I can zoom in without losing that part of the story. Okay, so you would hang it off of, say, this as a daily chart. So yeah, actually, you'd hang it right off of this like this here. So you get this notch, you get this inversion, and it's more overbought there, and here it's more oversold slightly. Pretty subtle there, but and of course, you know, in the just for the scalper, it would be you're projecting off of that low, so you're at least going to go to that level. It doesn't seem like much, but I'm thinking more in terms of coming back to here and hanging it off of the lowest close within there, which is either here, or that low bar, which is over estimation of that price pulse. You know, you have to, but this is certainly the one where it comes back and cleans house and carves out this hole that's been forming with all the stop orders. So there's a master, people have master stops in there, so they have to go grab those stops. You know, the stops just create buys. I mean, it just creates order imbalance, so don't be surprised if it bounces off that, and then it comes back up into this last known bottom here. You get a double top, you get the confirmation from this 2 period, slam down. It's a lot of money in one day, and where's the destination? Is the top of this daily chart, the top of this little top here. Of course, now for the RSI analysis, you're you know, you've got this trend line here. You got the one that broke back here, you know, through this. So as this thing's breaking, it's rolling over through these. This is like the final break there. You know, this is the point at which the whole thing turned on a dime. Look at the 2 period reversal down here. There's just 14 period RSI, almost divergence here a little bit, damn close. But the ones that are the best are these tight ones, like just 2 days. 2 days turn on a dime, double top, divergence, and this is actually happening underneath, so it's stacked up, and then of course that, and then of course people again have their stop here. Gotta grab those. I mean, this is a repeating pattern, right? And here's the next batch of stops I have to go after, is the ones down here, and grab those and zoom up and zoom down. But yeah, I guess for all the bears, you know, for all the people say, well, it's time to start selling, I guess you're going to sell this bottom right up in here, and you just have to start thinking about selling a retest of that high if you're a seller and you think it's going down. So you're going to build your stairway this way, looking for a price projection down into this, but it doesn't mean you can't place a zillion pendings at this key pivot to capture the bounce off of that, and then you could do the price projection on this to give yourself a little cycle projection into time. Of course, you got that 14, you really got to stretch it out to see this, the entries, what they would look like here. This is your top bottom, takes off. That's a, when it kicked off to that. And then you're looking for things like this where you've got a longer term view of it's going to come down, sweep into that, but once it starts to roll over, then you're going to be looking at selling everything that comes back up and meets that line, just like it would come up into this. But yeah, these things will dilly daily for like this forever, just drive you nuts. This is a daily chart. Look at all this drama. Look, it's ridiculous here, and then explosions up, you know, and then people are surprised by this move, and then they're surprised that it totally retraced, blew through the pivot. You got this, I mean, it's a little tough sledding mentally, but that's why you really want to think about buying down here and selling up here. And the rest of it, just let it unfold. If it doesn't hit your order, if you got to sell up here, it doesn't hit that, then, oh well, you know, no loss, no worries, right? Let me just go to the 1 hour and do an example of the 1 hour. For all the people that have their finger on the trigger, trading a 14 period RSI on the 1 hour, what that would look like, certainly a lot more gratification, for instant gratification, I must say. But for instance, I guess you don't really need RSI to trade a 1 hour chart, but you know, if you were going to put that on there, like here's your you know, trend line break, where's your first entry where you got a top bottom. I guess if you had kept drawing like this pivot off of here, this would be like, in essence, what a moving average would look like as it rolls over. So the, you know, you create, put a sell stop there. I guess you could sell on the breakout of that. And breakout traders are getting in there. All the early sellers sold up into that. Does RSI really not give you an entry here, actually? Yeah, I don't see any reversals, really. Sadly. I guess here's a 2 period buy. Right there. There's divergence. Gives you this little bounceola. Yeah, only because you had to come down and get all these long-term traders stops. Go grab that, ram it back up into almost top bottom, and then for the only other sell in here I see is maybe this one. This is more overbought. It's lower price. You do your price projection off that. Kind of looks like this. Find the lowest close in there. That one's on the wick. That one's on the. That keeps tanking, but now I guess we're coming into divergence a little bit, possibly. Gonna hold this level. I think I have to zoom out to really capture the all the stuff on here. With the 1 hour, it's kind of a mess. I think you'd have to, if you were trying to buy this breakout here, you could have been drawing a nice trend line on that. Getting in at this top, bottom, and RSI back here. Comes back into this 40 area. And right here it's coming back into this top. You know, for this top, bottom structure, and then explodes out of there, and yeah, I guess there's nowhere to actually get on the wagon there. That's a pretty quick and dirty move, but oh well, that's how it rolls.